And the president may have said publicly that he wasn't frustrated, but behind closed doors, he expressed that he wants more arrests. And he actually told sources that are familiar here that the numbers are, quote, too effing low. So when it comes to these numbers, something that we're tracking here, Borders are Tom Homan saying that he is pushing for higher numbers while still prioritizing public safety threats and national security threats. But here's the thing. Homan isn't happy with the numbers either. In fact, he wants to see them triple. Take a listen to what he told our Kelly Meyer this morning.
Mr. Homan, is the president happy with the number of arrests?
I'm not. The arrests, if you look at the arrests in interior enforcement, about 3 times higher than a year ago today. 3 times higher is good, but I'm not satisfied. There's more criminal aliens that need to be arrested, hundreds of thousands. Sanctuary cities are putting roadblocks up. We got leaks. So we need to increase the arrest of illegal aliens, especially those with criminal convictions. So we're going to continue. So 3 times higher is good. The numbers are good. For me, not good enough. We got to get more.
So you heard him there. He's not satisfied. Homan, meantime, says that they need congressional funding to be successful in these efforts. They need bed space. Right now, they're utilizing government resources like Fort Bliss. We know Guantanamo Bay is receiving some flights, but they're also leaning on states like Georgia. We were able to confirm that the prison in Atlanta is actually being used to house illegal immigrants marked for deportation as well. Now, in order to actually help cover more ground here, because not just bed space that is an issue, we've seen all these different agencies jump in to help, and you can count on the IRS as well here, Nicole, because the Department of Homeland Security actually is seeking to deputize some of its IRS agents, namely the ones that have an investigative background, so can actually help out with some of these ICE arrests and jump in. So that is one effort that they're making to kind of get to that 12 to 1,500 number that you heard them talking about.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, as you saw in that clip, there are rumors going around Washington, D.C. in political circles that are saying that Donald Trump has privately told his confidants that he is very much dissatisfied with the rate of deportation that is going on in this country. Well, when it was suggested to Tom Homan, he didn't opine on the president, but he did say that he himself is dissatisfied, and they got reason to be dissatisfied. Let's not put it past them on that. Because when we look at what just happened in 2024, a record number of illegal crossings in this country under Joe Biden's presidency, he opened the floodgates so that we would have massive numbers of illegal crossings in this country, the likes of which we have not seen in decades and generations. Well, of course, Donald Trump might be dissatisfied because, by comparison, the deportations have been a trickle compared to the illegal crossings. So I'm sure he wants to catch up. I'm sure he wants to get his people on board. He wants to bring more people on to aid in the effort, and he wants to ramp up enforcement. But y'all, seems like some interesting things are happening as enforcement ramps up. And you say, wow, he's going to bring in IRS agents. He's going to bring in people from different governmental departments who have a certain skill set who can help in this effort. Well, you can say the man ain't playing. And those of us who voted for him knew that he wouldn't be. I don't know what y'all expected on the other side, but we got some people, y'all, who are trying to resist what the president is trying to do. We got some informants inside the government. There's rumors that it's come from the FBI. We know how corrupt the FBI is. That's why we're waiting on Kash Patel to get confirmed. But there are some leaks that are happening on these ICE raids. And it seems like people are running scared. They're hiding, and they're ruining the raids based on leaked information. Okay, well, we've always had leaks in government. That's something they can deal with over time. I'm sure they'll get better at it as they learn more about the opposition that they're going to face deep off in that swamp. But y'all, we have a story today where they had a warrant for a certain illegal alien. And this illegal alien was not only on American soil in violation of federal law, he was working. Boy, you ain't got a social security number. You ain't got a green card. You here illegally. How you even get past the interview? To whom did you file your application? Who did you give your resume to? But no, they run off in this Mexican restaurant. And we're going to assume that this person was of some type of Latino descent. They ran off in there with a warrant for his arrest. Yo, come to find out, y'all, he had a dozen cousins working off in that same restaurant on the same shift. They rounded them all up. They're all set for deportation. Why would a business owner in this country allow this to be? In my humble opinion, I think the business owner should be charged, because you weren't just employing them, you were harboring them in violation of federal law. Shut down the entire restaurant. Close the business. Because this business owner is clearly anti-American. Oh, but they like that currency conversion when they can make money in America and remit it back to wherever they came from. We've seen it all before, have we not?
We've been working for a lot of years together, and it wasn't just right for them to just come in here.
Tonight, employees at this restaurant in Liberty say they feel shaken up after a federal operation earlier today. The Clay County Sheriff Will Aiken told Fox 4 agents showed up based on one person's warrant, but they left the restaurant taking a dozen employees with them. I'm Lauren Halifax.
I'm Kevin Barry. Fox 4's Jacob Sloan has been looking into this today. He spoke with the people at El Patro who were trying to stay open without 12 of their staff members.
The Clay County Sheriff's Office told us they were not a part of the operation here at El Potro. Sheriff Aiken only found out when he showed up to figure out what was going on. It happened around 10 a.m. Friday. Sheriff Aiken says he didn't know the operation was happening until he got a call.
I need to know what the heck's going on in my county. I mean, a federal agency is coming in and they're, conducting an operation. Again, if something happens in my county, I need to be prepared for that.
As soon as I heard, I hurried and made my way here. But unfortunately, when I got here, they already had them in the van, and they took 12 employees.
This video obtained by Fox 4 shows Homeland Security agents in El Potro Mexican Cafe in Liberty.
They come in here, they had guns, and they also had their face covered, and they blocked all the doors, and I mean, it just made everybody scared.
Sheriff Aiken says federal agents were on site for a single person's warrant related to child sex crimes.
What brought them there was that one person, but they were there for work site enforcement.
He says throughout the day, he saw misinformation shared on social media.
Really, it's gotten that far where we're afraid of brown people? Asinine. But no one is taking into consideration that perhaps federal agencies are just doing their job.
And here we are with a local sheriff saying, hey, I feel violated that the feds ran down in my territory. Y'all stepped on my toes. You didn't let me know what was going on. Well, the feds don't trust you. How about that? There's leaks going on. There's infiltration. There's insurgents in the government. They don't trust you with their information of their operation. So they just ran down on you one night and said, we're not going to tell the local sheriff nothing about what we got going on. Let's just go in here, handle our business, do what we got to do, and get out. Well, the sheriff is a little butthurt. Poor sheriff. He'll get over it. Maybe if the sheriff was enforcing the law, then you wouldn't have so many illegals running local businesses in your area, sheriff. So don't get on the news and try to complain about how you feel a certain kind of way that the feds disrespected you, because it seems to me in a circumstance like this that the disrespect is well deserved. And I found another story where the disrespect might be deserved. A woman says her husband is about to be deported. Well, why did you marry an illegal alien who was in this country without permission? In this country illegally? Why would you connect yourself to a situation like that? And not only was he here illegally, but this one is different in that he was a criminal. An alien with a green card who had committed crimes. And this story is interesting to me because I can't imagine myself illegally going into another country and then saying, hey, I'm going to disrespect your country, knowing that I'm here illegally. I'm just going to commit crimes. Boy, that's like crawling through America's window, breaking and entering, making yourself comfortable on the couch, putting your feet up on the coffee table, saying, hey, I'm a little hungry. Let me go off into America's cupboard. Grab some food. Doesn't matter, the taxpayers got to pay for it. I don't care. I don't have to pay for it. Oh, I feel a little sick. I got a little cough. Let me go off into America's medicine cabinet. Grab me some medication. You see illegal aliens walking around in this country with braces. Oh, let me go get my teeth fixed at the taxpayer's expense. Even though I'm here illegally, even though I've broken and entered into this dwelling, put my feet on the couch and the coffee table. I've taken food out of the cupboard and taken medicine out of the medicine cabinet, but I'm here and I'm chilling. I got my teeth fixed. I got my life better than what it was where I came from. I don't care about the fallout of the people who have to subsidize my existence. No, I'm selfish in that way. I'm just here. Well, you're going to mess around and marry this man and you know what his record is. You know what his background is, but you never expected that there would be a new sheriff in town. You never expected that Donald Trump would get reelected. You never expected that this man you married would get his comeuppance.
Federal effort to crack down on immigration is affecting more than just those without documentation.
We're now learning what it could mean for green card holders with criminal records. WRAL's Carly Haynes spoke with a Durham woman whose husband was arrested by ICE last week and could now be deported.
Call.
Has he been transferred out?
After call.
I just need to know where my husband is.
Heather Spink is trying to track down her husband, Zaryab Hassan.
I'm tired. I get nowhere. It seems like I'm running in circles.
Last Wednesday, he was in Durham. 24 hours later, the federal immigration's website listed him in ICE custody in Stuart, Georgia.
Wow. This is the scariest thing I've ever had to go through. And there's nothing I can do.
Her husband has had this green card since 2003. In 2022, he faced felony drug charges, including death by distribution. He went on probation as part of a plea deal, then last week met with his probation officer.
As soon as he walked in, the probation officer took him to a conference room, and there were 4 ICE police in there, and they instantly said, "Put your hands behind your back."
ICE arrests at probation meetings aren't new, but immigration attorneys say they could happen more often now, with the president's emphasis on deporting some immigrants and securing the country's borders.
Well, I do think that there is a heightened level of enforcement. There is a very clear message from this administration that they are going to detain and remove as many individuals as they can.
Court records show Spink's husband faced more felony charges in 2024, including possession of a firearm by a felon. It's unclear whether the original charges he took the plea deal for or these more recent ones led to the arrest. But Durham attorney Yesenia Polanco Galdames says the original drug charges could still be grounds for deportation.
What happens is that the individual may not really appreciate or comprehend the consequences of their plea, and they agree to either accept a plea agreement where they plead guilty or maybe a deferred prosecution for an underlying crime that makes them deportable.
We asked immigration attorney Chris Barnes about the timeline.
It could be that this individual was just recently flagged and became on ICE's radar. It could be a ramping up of enforcement from ICE.
Spink is watching what this means for her husband, who's now states away.
Nobody knows. Nobody's talking about it. So here we are.
Carly Haynes, WRAL News.
And there you have it, y'all. Donald Trump 2.0 continues to shake things up, along with his border henchman, Tom Homan, who is putting a smackdown. Not only is the border locked down, not only is the border militarized, but now they are launching the largest mass deportation campaign in the country's history. If you are here illegally, you are probably afraid. And I'm just here to tell you that you should be, because you have broken this country's laws. You don't want to do right, because if you did, you would self-deport, get to the back of the line, start the process legally, and do it like thousands of other proud American citizens have done it in the past. But that's not what you want to do. You want to keep your gains, your ill-gotten gains, at the expense of American citizens. And it's not right, in my opinion, and in the opinion of the president. So we gonna ride with Donald Trump 2.0 on this issue and hope that he ramps up his enforcement. Hope that his efficacy grows and increases. And hope that America is greater for his efforts. Y'all let me know what you think about this. I'd love to know your thoughts. Seems like things getting hot from coast to coast for the illegals in this country. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.